Greetings, beloved kin. My name is Alicia Sunflower, and this is an intuitive spread for the month of November. I'm grateful that you're tuning in, and I hope that this spread is one that will help guide you to the best possible outcome for yourself in this month of November. If you're new to my card spreads, what I do is what I like to call an intuitive spread, where I pull from multiple decks at once, allow the cards to lay themselves out as they choose to, and then in both reading the specific cards and how they're all relating together, coming up with a deeper meaning and a deeper message to help us understand the energies of this present month. And so as I film this today, this is November 10th, so we're already a little bit into the month, but really getting into the juicy parts of what this month has in store, and excited to share this spread with you all so that you can learn more about that and harness these energies for yourself, for your highest good, and for the highest good of all. So today, the cards that I'm pulling from are from 3 different decks. First, we have the Crystal Mandala Oracle deck, a really beautiful deck. And then I also have the Tarot Illuminati deck and the Vision Quest Tarot deck. These are all fantastic decks, and if you feel called to them, definitely check them out for yourself. So this month, our reading looks like this. So as you can see, we have the Crystal Mandala Oracle cards really in the center, holding kind of the focus for this month. And then we have the Tarot Illuminati and the Vision Quest cards kind of circulating around it, with a couple of cards really kind of pointing in or emanating into the center, as well as kind of helping the center of our spread to emanate out. I really see like a turning of the wheel in this spread, both in the kind of wheel-like nature and shape of the spread, as well as the meanings that come through in all of the different cards. So let's dive in, and let's start off with our core cards, the center of our hub, which are the Crystal Mandala Oracle cards. So first off, the most central card this month is the card of purification. This card also comes in with the crystal black tourmaline, which is a very protective stone. It's often known as the healer's protection stone. Very powerful energies for keeping you grounded and also helping to clear out negative energy, as well as to keep it at bay, to keep it away. So purification is going to be a major theme in this month for all of us. And of course, that's not really too surprising considering the time of year that we're in here in the northern hemisphere of our beloved Earth. It is fall. It is the autumn. It is the time of letting go. And that's what this card is calling for. It's time to let go and release that which no longer serves us. So there could really be a call to detox this month for you. And that might be detoxing your physical body, kind of maybe some of the excess of summertime is ready to kind of flush out. But also this could look like detoxing our minds, detoxing our emotions, detoxing our spirits. What is it that you have maybe had a pattern with for some time now, or a new pattern that you've developed that you're recognizing doesn't really serve you? Don't forget, we don't just consume with our mouths, we consume with our eyes and our ears and our nose, and we consume energy, right? And so this might also be a call for you to add some purification and detoxification to relationships. You might be really absorbing a lot of people's energy, or have, and this might be kind of weighing you down, starting to really wear on you, and that's not your energy to hold. So it's okay to let it go. Really wanting to recognize that part of what we need to detox is fear. Allowing fear to be released. That's really kind of at the core often of what we're detoxing, whether we're noticing a physical behavior of ours that is no longer working for us, or a mental one, or an emotional one, or a relational one. Probably if we stick with it to try to understand what's up with this pattern, fear is typically at the root of it. Fear is typically at the core. So this is really a call for us to release fear and step deeper into love. This card also notes that if you're feeling a mild anxiety or uncertainty about letting go, to trust that this is indeed you breaking through this, that this is a right part of it for you. Always listen to your intuition, always listen to your heart, and what's right for you. Our emotions are messengers. They're not the ultimate truth. So be curious about them, give them space, listen to them, feel them, right? Emotions come in the form of feeling. Be embodied and feel it. Do what you need to do to clear so that you can feel what you need to feel as messages coming from your spirit, and continue to release and let go. Let that become the compost for the earth. Let that become the compost for you for your new growth come springtime. So purification, I'm seeing a connection between this card and then the other two Crystal Mandala Oracle cards. We have revelation and sensitivity. And I'm really seeing that purification acts as this important foundational step, that the more we are engaging in our purification, the more it's going to bring us this revelation and also this increased sensitivity. So let's talk more about those cards. First, let's talk about sensitivity. So sometimes being a really sensitive being, and if you're tuning into this, I'm guessing that you have some sensitivity to energy, to other people's emotions. Maybe you are already aware of different psychic abilities. Maybe this is just opening up for you. But regardless, you're probably already keyed into some amount of sensitivity, and this is what this card suggests. And there is a message here that although sometimes it can be tough to be sensitive, it can be hard to feel so much and to feel so much of what's going on in the collective, what's happening in the energy around you in your everyday world, what's happening inside your own being, what's happening in relationships. In the end, this is a gift. Our ability to sense, to be sensitive to subtle energy, whether that be emotional or mental or psychic or energetic, is indeed a gift, and it can turn into our superpower if we can really start to understand what it is to work with our sensitivity in an empowering way. Really, the message with this is you are going to be having an increased sensitivity coming online for you in this month, and that you should look upon this fondly, that this is really an opportunity to know reality. I remember I just saw a quote the other day from the Cheshire Cat who said that imagination is the greatest antidote to reality. And I love that, because so much of what we are told is real and is reality is an illusion and is not the kind of core nature of it. Even this whole experience in this physical 3D matrix, this is in the end an illusion. It's here, it's real, I'm real, but also, this is not the ultimate reality. So our ability to be sensitive to subtle energy allows us to understand more of what the ultimate nature of reality is. And that is essential for us in our pathway to awakening and to ascension and ultimately to liberation. So really harnessing the gift of this sensitivity is a big part of this month, and not to fear it. Again, I think the more we are purifying, the more this is going to bring our sensitivity online, and then the more we're tapping into our sensitivity, the more we're probably going to engage in purification, because we're going to realize there's something here in my shoulder. What is that? And we can start to feel into on the physical level, on the emotional level, on the subconscious level, energetically, what are we holding on to? And then we can have more insight on what it is we need to let go of. And then that will also increase our sensitivity and energetic awareness. So really powerful process here. Again, we see kind of a similar relationship happening, I think, between the purification card and the revelation card. The more that we purify, the more this is going to open up our opportunity to have revelation. And the more we have revelation, likely the more we're going to see what it is that we need to continue to let go of. Again, we're in the season of letting go. And the astrology is really for it. We're going to talk a little bit more about that as we get to the end of the reading. But we are in Scorpio season right now. So this is really a time of like diving in deep below the surface of who we are, what our life is. And that is an opportunity to let go for death and for rebirth. So let's talk a little bit more about revelation. There are always times in our life where we need to not know, right? Like going into the darkness of the womb, being the seed in the soil. The darkness that surrounds us is an important part of our growth process. And to try to push past into knowing before it's time would actually injure us or harm us. It might, cause us to change what is meant to happen for us because we know too much too early. So this isn't that time. This is the time where revelation, where truth is coming in. So now it is time for you to know some important things. This might be something that you have been really wanting to know, that you've been dreaming about knowing. This might be something that is kind of a shock to you, but your soul has understood that this was coming. Revelation is coming. This is here for you now. And this is a gift. So there's really an invitation for you to be staying present in this process, being here in the moment, and allowing this truth to come through. There's a beautiful saying that when it no longer serves you not to know, you shall know. And right now, there's something in your life where it no longer is serving you not to know. So this is coming. It's almost like you don't really need to do anything to make this happen. It's on its way. Whatever that is for you in your life, it's on its way. And that this is a gift. This is a blessing. This is something that's going to help uplift you, help you gain clarity and sight on your path, that it's going to empower you as you continue to do your work and to seek to fulfill your mission here in this earth plane. You are ready to receive this. So, allow yourself to be humbled by this revelation that comes through. Allow yourself to be moved by it, to be inspired by it. This is a gift, and it's going to be beautiful, whatever it is for you. And as I mentioned before, seeing a relationship between the more we purify, the more that this will help the clarity and the timeliness of this revelation to come through, and that likely there is going to help us understand what it is that we need to let go of all the more. So there's like this infinity kind of loop I'm seeing here with these core cards of the Crystal Mandala deck. They're interrelated, they're interconnected in a really beautiful way. So we're letting go, we're increasing our sensitivity, and we're having revelation come into us at this time, and how truly beautiful that is. So let's start to expand out into our wheel here and see what else is happening for us this month. Going from the purification card, some important lessons coming through from above and from below. On the above, we have the world. And the world is all about cycles and completions and endings and new beginnings that's, manifest and stem from those completions. And so this is a sign that a cycle is closing and a new one is opening. And that part of that process of the old closing and the new beginning is indeed this purification. So to trust in that and to trust in the intuitions that you're receiving about what it's time to let go of, and know that this is right for you. This is making room for something new. And there's also a message with this card to have some celebration. Give yourself some kudos for a job well done, for a cycle completed. Yes, there is a new cycle and there will always be new cycles that follow, but you've completed one in a beautiful way, and time to reflect and integrate and rejoice on that as you start to open up to this new cycle, this new chapter unfolding for you. And from below, we have justice. And justice, very connected to Libra, is all about that balance. It's about seeing the duality of things and bringing it into balance. There's also a morality about this, right? There is the sword of truth as well as the scales of balance, that we're going to do something with this. We're going to bring justice to something with this. And that doesn't have to mean the legal system. It probably does not mean vengeance, although this is a sword. This need not be violent, this justice. But this could be the kind of the quick action that you might take, that you're ready to take, and that this purification is helping you to find the balance that you need. So cycles ending and closing, as well as bringing more balance to things, are important parts of this wheel that is turning here in this season of November for us, and that this is also very connected to that act of purification, that this is helping us to close a cycle and begin a new one, and this is also helping us to bring balance to our being. How beautiful and how really perfect that makes sense. So let's talk a little bit more about the cards then that support revelation. So the cards that support revelation, we have the Ace of Air from above, and then we have the Two of Swords in reverse from below, and then we also have this special message of the Hermit coming from the revelation card, moving out to the left. So the Ace of Air is the card of inspiration. So this is beautiful. This makes so much sense. As we have a revelation coming forth, it is going to inspire us, right? It's going to help us to have clarity now on something new. And I want to share with you this quote from the guidebook. By trusting hunches and inner revelations, and faithfully acting on them, you are led to your own true self quite easily. Led to our own true self quite easily, right? So this revelation that's going to come through, this extra card of clarity with inspiration, is about you coming home to you in an important way, more of your own truth and authenticity revealed to you, and that this will be inspiring to you, that this will help you to be confident in the directions that you're going, and answers are now revealed. Coming in the direction of below from this revelation is the Two of Swords in reverse. And what's interesting about the Two of Swords is when it's upright, this is a card of like, you know, the fulcrum of the mind, being at a place of like impasse. There's two options, and which one do I choose? You know, you can see that the woman in the image is blinded. She can't see. She's got this crossover. It's hard to move forward. In reverse, the way that I read and understand reverse card is that the energy is shifting, that energy is not really at the upright way. There's something different about it. And so in this case, as the card in its upright position is about being blocked, I'm seeing this is releasing the block. So there's been some kind of conflict in your life where you have been blocked, and it's been hard to make a choice about which direction to move. And now that this revelation is coming through, you're having clarity come through as well. You're not going to be stuck anymore. You need to follow your intuition with this, and your intuition is going to be much more clear because of this revelation and this inspiration and this deeper knowing of self that is all a part of this. You're going to know what you need to do. So until that revelation comes through, have some trust and faith. Allow yourself to let go and release of the worry. Again, that's a part of the purification, right? Letting go of fear and worry and anxiety, and that this will inevitably help you to make the decisions that you need to make. And then I'm seeing kind of all of these three cards, the Ace of Air, Revelation, and the Two of Swords in reverse, as being related to this Hermit card. It's like this, kind of arrow pointing towards the Hermit. And the Hermit is the seed of light in the darkness. The Hermit here carries the beautiful light for others to see. That's a part of what the Hermit does. There's a need to go within. Part of Hermit is solitude and meditation and wisdom from within, but it's also about being a leader, carrying the light, showing the light, that you can do this on your own, that you don't need anyone else to support you necessarily, and you shining your light, you can just do it. And so whatever that is for you, part of the revelation I think that's going to come through is a clarity on what that means for you next, and how you show up sharing the light and showing the light to others. That can just be in your everyday life. These lessons of who you are can help you to really be even truer to yourself. How we show up with people in the real world is such an important part of how we show the way. This could be a creative project, or this could be a venture for your business that you have more clarity on, and that you're going to show the light in the world this way. Whatever that is for you, it's going to be beautiful and perfect. And so just trusting that this time of revelation, of having this inspiration, of being able to get unstuck in a situation where you have been stuck, is going to help you to continue to be a leader on your path and show up in a new way that's going to be inspiring to other people. And that taking time to go within is going to help you to integrate and synthesize this revelation that's going to come through, so that you can bring that forth to the world in a beautiful way that is true for you. So let's now talk about the sensitivity card and the cards that support it. So from above, we have the Sun of Fire. From below, we have the Two of Fire. And then coming out to the right, we have the Life Force card. I want to talk about this card a little bit before we talk about the above and below, because it's exciting. So this is the card of ecstasy. This is that is like the essence of our life force. It is this ecstatic energy of the all that is, of the truth of source that we are, that is now going to be coming available and coming online for you through this sensitivity. In order for us to feel this ecstatic energy, we must become sensitive enough to feel it. It's not kind of here in the everyday dense matrix of this 3D physical world. It happens on the subtle energetic levels, deep within our heart, deep within our light body, deep within our energetic centers of our chakras, deep within our pranic tube, this center of light that connects us to the all that is, that helps us to circulate our life force, our chi within our ka, okay? Like, we have to be able to tune into this to experience it. So the gift of sensitivity, why do this? So that you can be in ecstasy, my friend. And that is your God-given, goddess-given birthright, to be in ecstasy. And that this is going to be coming online for you in a new way that you haven't experienced before in this month, in this time of letting go and revelation. There's also sensitivity to ecstasy. How beautiful. Now, what else is coming out of this? Moving to the upwards direction of above, we have the Sun of Fire, which is all about courage. The more that we can tap into our sensitivity and start to see and feel truth within ourselves, out of ourselves, as we're moving around in the world and connecting with others, that we are going to be stoking the fire of our own courage. All right? And we need to be courageous to be sensitive. you know, the world has told us at large, if we are sensitive, there's something wrong with us, like you're seeing and feeling this, like that's weird, whatever. Or, you know, we've had traumatic experiences where we were sensitive and that showed us like, whoa, that's way too much, I can't feel that. It takes courage to open up our hearts and to be so vulnerable and to be so sensitive. And that more courage is going to be coming online for you. So this is a reminder to be courageous, but also the gift of increased courage at this time. That's passion, that's creativity, that's vitality, that's strength, the urge to become free, right? Take it, run with it, powerfully and steadily. That's the essence of this energy. So tapping into your sensitivity is going to help you move towards liberation. It is a key. It is a key. And then coming from the direction of below for this card of sensitivity is the Two of Fire, which is all about the will. So the more we tap into our sensitivity, the more we're going to find our own willpower strengthening, right? This is a card of fire. This is a card of action, right? So courage and will, right? And an important part of this will is to understand it's not necessarily the will of our egoic mind, right? We can have all of these different egos, all of these different parts that develop out of our suffering, and they may want things for us that are not of our highest good. This is suggesting that your will is going to be moving deeper into alignment with divine will. It's really interesting, as I've been doing these readings the last few months, a message of will and divine will has been coming through really strongly. So there's this evolution of this happening for us in the collective. We are more and more stepping into releasing our egos, releasing these false notions of self that came from legitimate wounding, and we're starting to realize that what it is to be an empowered co-creator in this world is to really get in alignment with divine will. And this card is saying that being sensitive and having this sensitivity come online for you in a deeper way is helping you to get more in line with that divine will. Now, another part of the sensitivity card that I didn't mention before is that this is also helping us to be more sensitive to our guides, to angels that we might work with, to light beings, to star seed ancestors, to our earth ancestors. Okay, so there's a sensitivity of there's other spirits that want to connect with you for your highest good, and you growing in your sensitivity is in part them reaching out to you, that they're ready for you to connect with them and that you are ready for them to connect with you. And so that is also a part of the kind of alignment with will that's happening. The more that we can connect with our guides, our spirit guides, our angels, our ancestors, the more we can align our will with divine will, because the more knowledge and awareness that we have of what that is and what that looks like. And that indeed, the more we can develop, embrace this sensitivity, the more we can be courageous about it and feel courageous and passionate and strong with our sensitivity, the more we have this sense of will within us that's here for the highest good, that we align with divine will, the more we will experience this ecstatic bliss, this ecstasy, this truth of being that is here for us. That is such a gift. Really, really such a gift. Being sensitive to our emotions is also an important part of this. Emotions can be blocks. When they are stagnant, when they are stuck, you know, this might go back to that Two of Swords. Maybe that's what's been stuck, and now that's starting to clear out for you. The more we can kind of allow our emotions to move through us, not to become stuck and to release old stuck emotions, the more we can experience this ecstatic energy, right? Because those emotions aren't blocking it anymore. So now there's open channel for us to feel this. As we have our sensitivity increasing, we can feel this ecstasy moving throughout our beings. And what a gift that is. You know, something else that's interesting to me about this card of life force, of ecstasy, is in the Vision Quest Tarot, this is the Justice card. So we actually have the Justice card in this spread twice. And that, you know, this justice, this balancing of things is this opening for this ecstasy, right? So the purification that's bringing in the balance, is bringing in the sensitivity, is also in the end the justice that we seek. It's this ecstasy. And like, that's just such a beautiful a synchronicity of how these cards popped out and how they read with each other. Also interesting, on either side of the Justice card, we have a 2. We got the 2 of Swords in reverse, and then we have the 2 of Fire for Will, and that both of them have this cross. The difference is in the 2 of Swords, you know, and it's in reverse, so we're having this shift for us. Instead of being blocked and blindfolded by this energy of duality, now we are kind of harnessing it, right? The willpower, the hand that holds the duality and is able to move through this dualistic matrix in a way that is empowered to be able to take action in alignment with divine will.
We can also see that there is this underlying message hidden in the cards about the balancing of masculine and feminine energies for us this month. With that justice bringing balance in the middle, we can see that beautifully on the right side, the masculine side, in the images of will and life force, is the sun. And solar energy is masculine. Then on the left side, the side of the feminine, we can see in the 2 of Swords and the Hermit, the moon, which is the feminine energy of lunar energies. And so there's this underlying message here that I'm getting, that part of the purification that we're doing, the revelation that's coming through, and the increased sensitivity is bringing online this new balancing of our masculine and feminine energies for each of us. That is part of the cycle that's closing and a new cycle that's beginning, and that this is also leading to the Hermit and to the life force. So part of how we show the way and part of opening up for us this experience of ecstatic divine bliss. Truly, really beautiful, again, amazing synchronicity of how these cards form together, teaching us another lesson about the balancing of masculine and feminine energies that's happening.
Really inspiring spread, so beautiful. And you know, I mentioned we'll speak a little bit about the astrology of this month and how this plays into this reading as well. As you probably already know, right now we're in Mercury retrograde in Scorpio, so this is a time of really letting things go, indeed, and diving into the depths of our being, to see the shadows, to see what is unseen, to know truth, to know self. And that part of what I'm seeing is the more that we do this, the more revelation, the more opening up to ecstatic bliss that we will have. So continue to dive, deep divers. Continue to know yourself, continue to see the shadows, and to release what no longer serves you. This Mercury retrograde is here for it. Also, really powerful full moon and new moon that we have this month. The full moon on 11/12, which happens after the 11/11 portal, which is really allowing us to see things in a new perspective, right? So we're probably having some of these revelations come through on 11/11. The next day is the Taurus full moon, known also as the Hunter's moon, and this is a really powerful one because the sun and the moon are opposite of each other. So the sun is in Scorpio, but the moon is going to be in Taurus. So this is also a little bit of a break from all of that deep diving into ourselves, where there's an invitation to come up above the ground where Taurus is, and to take care of our bodies, to rest, to breathe some fresh air, and to again, back to the Justice card, bring some balance to our deep diving with some really practical physical care. Some enjoyment of this physical, beautiful world. Yes, this world is an illusion, but it's also quite beautiful, and it's a gift, you know, and it's in the experience of these bodies that we can have this experience of ecstatic bliss through being embodied. And it is through being embodied that we can tap into these subtle forms of energy. So it's that kind of paradoxical place where kind of what we want to move towards, in essence, of feeling beyond this body. We first need to be in this body, feeling it, in order to get there. And there's also just a really strong feminine energy throughout this month. We have a lot of earth signs and water signs happening in all the planets. And with all of these feminine energies being activated, there is a need to love ourselves and to accept ourselves. That's part of the gift of this deep diving that we're doing and this self-care that we're doing, of these revelations that are coming on, of this sensitivity, that there's some way that we have not been, that we've been blocking ourselves from loving ourselves, from accepting ourselves. And part of what's happening with the astrology this month is that's opening. We're going to see where we've been holding back our love and acceptance for ourselves, and we're going to have that opportunity to give ourselves the love that we need from us. We want love from others, we seek love from others. In the end, that love is only ever a reflection of the love that you can have for your own beautiful heart. That you're the one who needs to love you, that you need your love more than anyone else's love, and that is you receiving the love of the divine from your own heart. You are the divine, and you need to know that you are worthy of your own love. It's as simple and beautiful as that. And so the astrology energies of this month are here for it. They're here to help you with that. It's really a beautiful time to also make a commitment to yourself and to how you want to be in the world. What's something that matters to you? We still have Pluto and Saturn and Capricorn, and they're like, practical, man. How are we going to do this? Let's get to work. Okay, so you're doing this deep diving into yourself. You're also having this nurturing of yourself. Use and harness these beautiful feminine energies to help yourself also just be practical, to really strategize what it is that you're here to achieve. And what's next to come for you. We're moving in fall right now, but we're moving towards those winter months when we're going to have more time for reflection and more time for strategy, but that's already beginning now. That's already coming online for us now and helping us to manifest what it is that we're here to manifest, what we need to manifest, what our souls want to manifest. You are really, really ready to have what you actually want, what your soul actually wants, to get in touch with that. Use use the full moon in Taurus to release and let go, right? Purification, continuing that, using the Mercury retrograde, which goes until November 20th, to release and let go. And then when we have the new moon in Sagittarius coming along on the 26th, this is the time to really start to set those dreams into action, right? Sagittarius is a lot of a kind of a dreaming energy, looking off to the horizon and seeing what can be, what can come of this. Allowing your dreams to start taking flight after you've done all of this deep work, setting those intentions in a practical way for what it is that you're ready to manifest. So my loves, that is the reading for November 2019. I hope that it's been helpful for you. As always, with all kinds of readings and channelings and so forth, take what resonates and leave what doesn't, right? Let that shit go. And so if any part of this resonates for you, I'm truly grateful. A big part of my path is, like so many of us, is to be of service in the ways that I can. And I truly love doing these kinds of intuitive spreads, and not only allowing the beautiful gift of these decks to speak for themselves, but allowing and intuiting and channeling my own spirit to help me to see and understand the energies. And I just love how it tends to just match up so well with the astrology that's taking place. And I'm really happy to have an opportunity to share some of my passion with all of you in the name of service for the highest good of us all. That's what we're here for. If you're tuning in, that's what you're here for too, in your own unique and beautiful way. So take care of yourself, do your deep diving, come up for air, let go, receive revelation, have sensitivity come online, shine your light in the dark, with all of your inspiration, with your clarity coming through. Allow yourself to feel deeply with courage and allowing your will to move in alignment with that sensitivity you feel and experience the ecstatic bliss that is here for you now. Many, many, many blessings to you, my beloved kin. I'm grateful for you and all the good that you do in the world. Thank you. Thank you for being you and being here. It's so good to know my beloved kin and to know of the kin that are out there that I don't know personally, but I feel you. I know you. We're in this together, and we're getting real riled up for 2020. It's going to be a hell of a year, a heaven of a year, heck of a year. It's going to be a good year. So until next month, I send you my love. I send you my light. I send you the truth and honesty of my shadow, of the all that I am, of the all that is. May I reflect this to you. May you know truth. May you know yourself in all ways and all things. And know that in truth, we got this. Blessings, my love.